Hi, I'm James Schillinglaw aboard Celebrity Equinox. I'm here with the Nexion Travel Group. It's their annual conference, and I'm here with Cara Bissett. Is that right? Cara Bissett is right. Owner of Explore Effortlessly in Miami. Now, why am I with Cara? First of all, she's a younger travel agent, and it's great to see someone getting into the business. But second of all, she gave a great presentation about charging fees, which is, age-old debate, and she does charge fees. So we're going to talk to her about that and how she does it, and you're going to learn all about that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Cara, first of all, let me ask you, when did you get into the travel agency business and why?
Yeah, so 2 years ago, I had a completely different career change. I actually have my master's in public health and was doing case management in the health-related field, but I've always been an avid traveler and helped friends and family plan trips. So a couple friends asked me, why don't you just start charging to plan trips? And I ran with it and ended up making more than my 9-to-5 and left it to sell travel full-time.
That's fantastic. That's a great story. Now, what year was that when you finally...
That was in the midst of the pandemic. So.
Oh, well, that's a good time to start selling travel, right? So, but that's like very brave, right?
Yeah, so when people were, people still were traveling, whether it was for work or visiting friends and family. So I was helping them to navigate that.
Now, what does your agency specialize in, if anything?
Yeah, a lot of people say you should get a niche, but just starting out, I just kind of take everything that comes my way. But I do predominantly book cruises. I'm really big with Virgin, all-inclusives, Europe, as well as Southeast Asia.
Oh, fantastic. So you got some little specialties going on. Do you have any ICs or people working with you or not?
Not yet, but that's my next goal.
That's the next goal. There was another presentation about people bringing on ICs and other assistants to help you. Now, let's talk a little bit about Nexion. Why did you decide to join Nexion, and when did you join?
I joined pretty early on in the start of my business just because the commission rates when you're out on your own are so low, and I loved the community that they had. I'm part of a Nexion Young Professionals group with Nexion, so I really loved the sense of community and all the trainings that they offered.
So the training is one service you had. What are some of the services that you really value that they provide? Obviously, training was one, right?
Yes, definitely the trainings, all the many conferences. I'm pretty sure I've done all the conferences that Nexion has offered. So I've really just enjoyed.
How many times have you been to Connexion?
This will be my second one.
Okay, so you've done two here. Now, let's get back to that, because you got up there and you gave a presentation on fees, and I had to kind of remember back because I once did a cover story back in the 90s about this debate about, travel advisors charging both service fees and consulting fees. But talk a little bit about why you decided to start charging fees.
Yeah, so I did start in the midst of the pandemic, and so I was helping people with the Safe Travels Hawaii program, with quarantine hotels, and I wasn't getting any commissions from those, so I had to start charging fees up front from the very beginning. And I was selling travel on the side when I first started, so I still had my income from my other job, but I needed to start charging fees up front to invest in my business and even really make any money, especially when you're first starting out.
Well, actually, COVID has been a spur to a lot of people charging fees because obviously the income was not coming in from commissions at that time, so you had to get your money somehow. Sadly, it's always been a disaster of some kind that has spurred more agents to do that, more advisors. Now, tell us about your fee structure, because I thought it was pretty interesting. So what is your fee structure roughly?
Yeah, so I use Travefy, and I send my itineraries over to a virtual assistant that creates them. But for the itineraries, I charge $150 for a single person, $300 for more than 2 people or more, $500 for destination weddings, $75 for activities, $50 for domestic flights, and $100 for international.
That's a great fee structure, and these are all consulting fees, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I also charge, if they want a quote, it's a $50 quote deposit, and once they book the travel, I'll apply that towards their trip.
Okay, so you will rebate some of that stuff if you have to. Now, what would you say is percentage of your income is from fees versus commissions at this point?
Now, I just did my taxes, and I'd say 50% of my income is from charging fees.
So you're getting paid for your consulting services, right?
100%, yeah.
Which is the whole idea after it. It's great to get the commissions, and you'll get a lot of money that way too, but to get the fees, because of what you serve, you're a professional.
Yeah, absolutely. It protects you, especially if the client cancels, and you really just buy back your time because your time is so valuable.
Now, you've been talking to your fellow Nexion advisors. Do you think most of them now charge fees or not?
I've heard from a lot of agents today that today I've inspired them to start charging fees and they haven't before. And a lot of people think, oh, why would I charge fees if other travel agents don't? Why wouldn't they just go to that other travel agent? But people really do see the value in the work that travel agents provide. And so I think more people are going to start charging fees from now on.
That's great. So you think this is a way to kind of validate the professionalism of travel advisors by charging consulting fees, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, what lies ahead for Explore Effortlessly? You said you want to grow, maybe get some independent contractors. What are you going to do?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to get on some sub-agents and maybe even a travel coordinator assistant. Right now I have a virtual assistant. She lives in the Philippines, but it would be nice to have a team. So that's definitely on the horizon for Explore Effortlessly.
Now, you started really kind of in a horrible time for travel advisors, and you persevered, and you're here today. Do you still like doing this?
I absolutely love it. I love being my own boss, not having to request time off. I can work from wherever.
Yeah, but except you never have any time off, right? Because you're working so hard.
Well, Nexion, that's another great thing about Nexion. They do have a buddy system, so you can have other travel agents babysit your clients while you're on vacation. But yeah,
so that's really, it is tough, and believe me, I know doing what I do now, but it's almost no breaks. But then again, it's more of a lifestyle. After a while, you get used to it, and you love the travel. You get a lot of opportunities to travel, I hope. Right?
Yeah, just in the last year, I've gone on like 6 cruises, and I just moved to Miami now. I've only been home about 3 weeks since I've lived there in the last year because I'm constantly traveling. So this is definitely the life for me, and I never could see myself going back into an office setting.
I know. I totally get where you're coming from because I'm kind of that way too. I have a home, but I haven't been in it in 2 months. So it's and then I'll hop on another cruise. So we'll see what happens. Well, congratulations on your agency business. Congratulations on coming out and really telling people that they have to start charging service fees and telling them how to do it. Because believe it or not, I still think there's still a few that are a little hesitant to do that. Now, where can your fellow Nexion agents and also travel advisors as a whole reach you to maybe talk to you and listen to your experience?
Yeah, absolutely. You can follow me on Facebook at Explore Effortlessly or email me info@exploreeffortlessly.com. I also have a website, exploreeffortlessly.com, or you can follow me on Instagram or TikTok at XOXOKara.
There you go. There are a lot of different ways to reach you. That's great. Kara, I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with us. Congratulations again on your agency, and it's great to see someone so excited and loving this kind of business, because for a long time, people would say, what do you mean travel agents? They don't exist, do they? And that was the old thing. And I used to say, hey, yeah, they exist, and they can, they travel like their clients. They sell something that people love. If they're really good, they get 6 figures. And they're their own boss. So what's not to like? That was the old thing. I said, people say, what's that kind of job? I said, it's called a travel agent, or now we say travel advisor. And they looked at me like I was crazy. So I don't know if your friends act that way or not.
No, I don't know. I do travel agent because that's what most people, when they're searching on Google, are searching for. So I make sure to list that I'm a travel agent.
Okay.
Yeah.
But your friends in general don't think you're crazy?
No. I mean, maybe a little, but
well, no, because it is just so odd. People don't think it's a great profession, and it's actually coming in strong now after in the post-pandemic era. It's finally growing. The U.S. Labor Department is saying it's growing the number of travel advisors, and people are seriously looking for travel advisors. And you've hit a great career in stride.
Yeah, I actually made a TikTok, a day in the life of a travel agent. I had so many people reach out. It went viral, like, oh, I want to be a travel agent. And the first thing I say is, it's not for everyone, but no. If you have the work ethic and the drive, then it's definitely for you.
Well, you may find a few ICs that way, independent contractors. Again, congratulations on your agency. Congratulations on that great talk today. And we'll look forward and bigger and better things ahead.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
I'm James Schillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.